Good morning. I'm here at Farmhouse and I'm going to do a video today on trims. And I want you to see a lot of the trims here at Farmhouse, and there are just baskets and baskets and bins of trims. And the trims are very important if you want to finish up a garment. So I'm going to start showing you some of the bins that you have to choose from. I'm going to flip you around and see what I can do. Okay, as you can see, I'm in the back aisle here. These bins, all these bins have trims. Trims, just anything and everything that you can put together here, and just show you the ribbons. These are all ribbons that you can use as trims. There's trims down here, the trims over here, here. I love putting all these together. You go through here, you put ribbons, all kinds of trims. There's just trims, and more trims. Over here, there's trims everywhere. Ribbons to put together to make things, and I'm going to show you how to put some together here in this video, and how I have used the trims in many ways. So this is just a little bit of the trims, just showing you. These are all the rickracs that you can use as your trims. I'll run over to that section and show you. Here's more. Here's the spaghetti bias. Here's all the piping. Just going to show you what you can add together. Hi. Okay, here I am. I'm going to show you now. I've taken you on a tour of Farmhouse. I've shown you in some of their bins, all their trims. Oh my goodness, I couldn't show you all of them. But they have so many different trims, and trims are so much fun. I was out there for a very long time, and I kept thinking, you know, I had to go pull things out and put things together. And so finally, before COVID, like my class on trims was the last class at Farmhouse on trims before COVID. And so I decided, okay, I'd really like to show this again because it's so much fun, and putting trims together is just, it dresses up something that's completely plain. You can just add a little bit of trim to it and it turns out so pretty. So I pulled out quite a few little trims here, and I'm going to show you how you can mix them and match them and put things together. And I know that every one of you have lots of trims of some sort in your basket that you probably look at one piece and say, well, gosh, what do I do with that? Or gosh, what do I do with this? And so this is what you can do with them. And you might only use them on a pocket, the top of edge of a pocket. You might use them, I'm going to show you how to use them for straps on sundresses. I'm going to show you all different kinds of little things here to do with them. And I did a lot. I trimmed the bottom of tea towels just to put trims together to show you how they can go together and how different they can all look. So I'm going to show you now these trims, and we're going to start out over here. As you can see, I have this little flower, this little red daisy trim I pulled out, and then I had pulled out these pieces of white lacy looking trim. It's a thicker trim. Anyway, you could sew this down something and think, oh, that's going to make it really pretty. And you could just put two pieces down the front of something with some little pin tucks in between, and it would be really pretty. But if you put those two pieces of trim together and you don't need much, like I said, if you just have little pieces, you could put this daisy trim down the front of a dress and sew it right on top of those two after you put those up together. And then you can just look at how pretty that would be. That would make a beautiful strap. It would make the pretty... It would make a pretty front on a dress that, you know, down the bodice. You could do it vertical, horizontal, and it'd look really pretty. Here's some that is more like a Clooney lace. And you could, obviously, you can use this by itself. You can run ribbon through it to make it really pretty on the front of something. Or it's the same thing. You could put it together. You could sew two pieces together. Just zigzag those two little pieces together with a tiny zigzag. Then you could lay another piece of ribbon on top of it. You could do it like that. Look at how pretty that is. When it just has that little edging on the side, we'll pull this purple ribbon out now, and we'll put these two together. And you see how pretty? And then I pulled out a piece that was, this is pleated organza. and it comes in different colors, and I'm going to just show you how pretty this is. If you sew that down, put a piece of spaghetti bias down the center of it, and then just stitch that down, and it comes out really pretty. You could put that on the sleeve, a cuff of a sleeve. You could put it on the bottom of a dress. You could put it anywhere, you know, and dress it up a little bit. You can use spaghetti bias. You can use spaghetti bias in lots of different ways. You can use piping. You can sew 2 pieces of piping together. If you have 2 pieces, you just put them together like this, pretty close, just so the edge of one is butted right up to the piping, the cording on the other one. You can do the same thing. You can then you can go back and you can put spaghetti bias down the center. That just makes a pretty little simple trim. Nothing out of the ordinary, just really pretty. Then you could also put a piece of you can put those separate, like that together. You can put a little bit wider piece of, you can use just like this ribbon. Look at that, what the edging on this, it does to this ribbon. It's just really, really pretty. You just channel it, the ribbon down the center of those 2 pieces. I had this little piece. I thought, oh, this looks really pretty. If you had this piping, if you had to dress that color with those colors, look how pretty that is. This is a really pretty little trim. It's a ribbon that has little flowers, silk ribbon flowers on it. They're sewn on there, and it's really pretty. Then we have, you can use rickrack. If you have some rickrack, then you can put ribbon by the side of rickrack. You can put ribbon on the top of rickrack. You can put 2 rows of rickrack and put the ribbon down the center. You can do all sorts of things with this. Then you have just any of these trims. You can take any kind of trim and do something up really pretty with it. Like I have this blue piping here. We can put that down. We can lay that in the center. We can put this pretty little blue ribbon down the center of that. This little ribbon like this. You see how that goes together, and it looks so pretty. And then as I was digging through, I had another piece of ribbon here I was going to show you. This ribbon has little fish on it. This is so cute. It's so pretty and sweet for a little beach outfit. Would be nice. But as I was going through the bins, I found this, and I think you'll all like this. This is braided braided spaghetti bias, I'm sorry. And it's sewn together. It's very sturdy. This is perfect for straps. Or you could put that across the top of a pocket. But I think straps on a summer dress would be really pretty out of that, and it came in different colorways. This one's a little bit more stretchy than this one. This one's not quite as stretchy. But you could also do this on top of a piece of ribbon. If you had a wider piece of ribbon, I'm going to pause for a minute and get a piece of ribbon and show you. Okay, I found a piece of large ribbon, wide ribbon rather, and I wanted to just show you how you could do this and make straps with this. You can sew this ribbon right down each edge along this braided piece to this ribbon, and then you can make your straps. And wouldn't that be really pretty over the shoulder? It would be really pretty on a summer dress. So there's all kinds of ways to do this. And these are some of the hand towels that I did for my samples for my class. I'm going to show you. On this piece here, there is, I'm going to point with this. I did a fabric ruffle. I just did a rolled edge on a strip of fabric and gathered it up. I sewed it right down the middle to the bottom of this hand towel. I used 2 pieces of rickrack on each side, and this is a separate piece of ribbon here, and I just sewed it down, as you can see, and it turned out so pretty. The colors were so pretty, and you could do that on the bottom. You could put this on the dress, a ruffle on the dress, and do this at the top of it where you've hemmed it to the dress. That's one way of doing it. Here's some of the pleated organza used with this flower trim on this linen towel. Really, really pretty. Another way to do it. Here's one that I took 2 pieces of ribbon trim and put one, it's not really ribbon, it's cording trim, and I put one on each side of this little piece of spaghetti bias. I added this ruffle that was already done. It has picot edging on it. I got the piece of gathered ribbon edging, put it first, and then put this on top and sewed it down. Make a really pretty towel for Christmas, Valentine's. This is using the wide ribbon with some trim on each side of the wide ribbon. Ribbon in the center. Same with this one. I love this gray one. This gray one I used spaghetti bias in the center, a gray white check spaghetti bias on top of a piece of ribbon, Petersham ribbon. And then under the bottom I used two pieces of, just a strip of bias that I had cut, and I used a stitch on the machine to stitch it down, a fancy stitch, so it made it look like an extra trim, and you can always do that. This black and white one, I did a ruffle, a dot ruffle on the bottom of the hand towel. I used the Petersham ribbon under it, and this was a piece of lacy trim that I thought would dress this up a little bit more for a dressier towel. You just sew them down. You just layer these things up and they come out really, really nice. And I'm going to show you some of the things that I did with this. This dress is a dress that I made. I designed this pattern for Classic Sewing Magazine, the summer issue, I think, of the first issue of the magazine. I used this jumbo wide rickrack with spaghetti bias down the center of it. I braided the jumbo rickrack, and then I just sewed the spaghetti bias down the center and made the straps out of it for this dress. This was a cute little summer dress. It was called Kaylee's Summertime Dress. And just a fun little thing, and it was real simple with these straps. And then this one is just a little simple dress that I decided to dress up with some trim. I was out at Farmhouse one day and this trim came in. It's white trim with these little balls in the center, fuzzy balls, and it just has this little piece of braid on the side. And so I used spaghetti bias on each side of that and tiny zigzagged it to this trim and made the straps for this dress. And then I decided to dress it up by putting it on the pockets as well. So I just used them both together to make this little dress. Okay, and then another trim, this one, I used the eyelet ruffle and just sewed it with the rickrack in it. I used spaghetti bias to make a little stem for this little ribbon flower that I had made, and just dress this little thing up. You don't have to have really expensive fabric, and you don't have to spend lots and lots of time on something. Just get out your trims, doctor it up, and it'll be really, really pretty. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and looking forward to seeing what you made. Thanks.